Hello everyone and welcome to another speed building video. So today we're renovating a lot from the Get Together expansion pack. It's a community lot, so if that sounds like something you'd like to watch, make sure you grab yourself a drink, a blanket, a snack, get comfy, and let's get into it. That actually, I swear to God, was probably the 7th time I've recorded that intro. But anyways, hey guys, now that the formal thing's over, we are renovating the Bluffs lot in Windenburg from the Get Together expansion pack, as I mentioned in the start. This is the world where it has that really dingy looking pool, like the one that looks like swamp water, but I make my Sims swim in it regardless because I'm ruthless. Everyone does that. It's not that crazy, but that's the lot I'm renovating today because I really like the idea of this lot, and I really like the thought of like an abandoned place that the teens have kind of taken over and made their own. And my only issue with the Bluffs is like there's not that many activities to do. Like, yeah, you can go and swim, but like the amount of times I've had Sims literally freeze to death because they went there in the winter time. I was like, well, I don't know what else to do, like go for a swim, and then they died on me. But it's okay because I begged the Grim Reaper to let them live, and he did. What a king. But yeah, so I wanted to kind of make a new community lot so that there's actually some more activities to do here. So when there's functions and events, like I'm not just making my Sims swim in that yucky water that simultaneously kills them. You know what I mean? So that's what I decided to do today, and I'm really happy with how it came out. There was a reference photo I was looking at that kind of inspired it, so I'll find it and I'll put it up on the screen now like I usually do. Honestly, if any of you are like Pinterest people like I am, like you definitely will have seen this photo before. At least I'm pretty sure you would have. In the original reference photo, it's more of like a Roman kind of style of architecture, like more of like the stuff you would see in Greece or Rome, things like that kind of style with that. I don't know what the material is. I'm not an architect. I'm not a construction worker, but like that white, not porcelain, but you know what I mean. The marble, it's not marble. I don't know what it is, but you can tell by the photo, hopefully. But pretty much it looks a bit more pristine in the photo. And then I recently got the Jungle Adventure expansion pack, and I've been loving the new items, and I was like, you know what? Like they fit really nicely in this world. So I decided instead of making it that kind of, I don't want to say pristine. I don't know if that's like rude to this build if I'm not calling it pristine, but just like the more white and clean aesthetic, if you will. And then this one I wanted it to feel a bit more like overgrown and like really weathered and stuff, so I used more of the Jungle Adventure items instead of the Get Together items for ruin parts, because like both of those packs have debug ruin items, and so instead of using the ones that I guess would kind of belong in this world, I decided to use the ones that belong in the Jungle Adventure world instead. I can't remember the name of that world because honestly I haven't played or done the gameplay for that pack yet. I've just used the build items, but I really am loving the build items. Like there's so many great things in there, and I'm so obsessed with the floor tiles that come in that pack. Actually so obsessed. Like I can't stop using them. I'm using them every single chance I get, and I love them, and hopefully you guys will love them as much as I do. If not, what are you doing? Get a grip. I'm just kidding. Everyone's entitled to their own floor tile preference, but I like these ones. Yeah, so I really just wanted this build to feel really overgrown, and like I wanted it to feel like it was a very, I guess, valued place at one point in time, and then like these teens have kind of taken it over and made it their own. Maybe it's slightly disrespectful to how the building used to be, but I was imagining it was maybe some sort of like temple or something way back when, and then it hasn't been in use for a while, and then like all of a sudden these teens from a couple decades ago, like they've been adding things ever since, and like the teens that founded this are now like the parents of the teens who visit here now, if that makes any sort of sense. But pretty much the upper layer doesn't have all the action, if you will. That's not where all the activities are. There's definitely a couple still. Like I have some suntanning towels, and I think like obviously you can swim in this because I made it a pool instead of a pond. like to allow you to still have that swimming feature. So there's still some things on the main level, but then what I decided to do is there's like this bunker that goes underneath the ground, right? And that's where I put the majority and the bulk of the activities, because also it's not like the biggest lot, and with what I had in mind, I really wanted the top to be like pretty much all water, I guess. So I decided that a bunker was probably the best way to go about it. Now, why there's a bunker there, I'm not entirely sure. I don't know how. It's maybe not the most logical thing, but just don't think about it too hard, you know? It looks pretty, it does its job, you know? It doesn't need to do more than that. But you can see I've added in some more of the landscaping, so I've added some trees and stuff to really make it feel nestled and things. And I'm really loving the build. I've just been in such a building mood recently. I've been in more of a building mood than an editing mood, hence why I haven't been posting much. Although, as I am recording this, I did just post a new video. And that one was like a realistic starter home kind of thing. I'm very happy with it, and I'm really excited for you guys to see the kind of vibe that I have going for Willow Creek now for my save file. I talk about this in the actual video, so feel free to check that out if you want, but just to give a brief summary, pretty much the original plan I have for Willow Creek, I scrapped it. It's done. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm taking it in a new direction, and might I say I love the direction it's going. I'm trying to make like that specific area feel a bit more dingy and realistic compared to like the cute little suburban that it was beforehand, if that makes sense. So yeah, it's kind of dirty, kind of grungy, kind of sketchy, but I'm just loving it, and I think it's so much better than what was there originally, in my opinion, just because it gives some more variety to the world of Willow Creek, whereas before it was kind of just a bunch of like suburban family homes. And so now I still have suburban family homes, but I have the dingy ones along with the nicer ones, I guess, if you will. But while I'm doing this exterior, like there's only so much I can talk about. Like I'm just placing some rocks and stuff, so it's pretty much like a watch. There's not much for me to explain except for the fact that I'm using like these debug items, and yeah, honestly that's pretty much it. Also, sorry if you keep seeing like me skipping my music in the top left corner. I'm gonna try and turn that off, I swear, like for the next few ones. Like I'll try and make sure it's off. Hopefully it doesn't bug you guys too much. Also, ignore the music I'm listening to in this video. I swear it's not my usual music taste. I just needed something that I could like sing along to while I got this build done, because it was taking me forever and I was getting impatient, so ignore that. But while I do the landscaping and just kind of the upper level, I want to talk about some recent Sims news. Hello, we're getting a new expansion pack. Are you kidding me? First off, I'm really excited. This is like right up my alley. I have a no pun intended, I have quite the obsession with cowboys. Anything like Wild West or apocalyptic it's for me. Those genres were meant for me, and I feel really sad that I didn't get to experience either of them in real life. Maybe that's not something I should wish for, because honestly it feels like the world is becoming a bit apocalyptic, but this is not the kind of apocalypse I want. Anyways, I digress. I'm excited for the horses and the cowboys and the ranch and all those fun things, but I'm a little upset because I think I've mentioned this in some other videos, but I don't like buying expansion packs at full price because, like, spending $50 just to have seasons in a life simulator game, are you kidding me? No, I don't stand for it. So I pretty much just wait for them to go on sale, but the only issue is, like, new ones never go on sale until there's a new pack after it, and then even then they're not at like their 50% off. It's like a 38% or something. It's kind of weird, so it's gonna take me a while before I actually get my hands on the pack, but I'm so excited regardless. Now, I haven't actually watched the trailer video for it because I don't know, but I have watched people's thoughts on the pack, and I did notice, I was watching a little Simsy video, and I noticed that she noticed or pointed out that we might have the ability to paint roof tiles finally. And if that ends up being something that we can actually do, I will lose my marbles. I will be so excited because if I have to look at that ugly white ceiling one more time in my life, I'm gonna lose it. Especially like in builds like these, it's like, why is there just a blank white ceiling when the ceiling's literally made of stone, but I can't make it look like it's made of stone? Anyways, struggles of a builder, but I'm super excited for that, and I'm just excited for the horses and the vibes. I've seen some people say that it kind of just looks like the Strangerville world, but just a little less orange. Now, I don't own Strangerville, so for me, I'm not too bugged about it, but I could definitely see how that would be annoying if we're getting two of like pretty much the same worlds, just with like slightly different gameplay elements, I guess. Not slightly different, they're pretty drastically different, but the worlds I'm seeing are kind of similar. Don't know if that makes any sort of sense, but regardless, I'm so excited. And oh my gosh, can we talk about the fact that there might be goats, or there are going to be goats? I'm so sorry, I don't know why I can't really speak with this voiceover, but goats are literally my favorite animal ever. They're either really cute or really derpy looking, and I love them both ways. The way they run, oh my god. If you guys haven't seen what baby goats look like when they run, do yourself a favor and go and search it up on YouTube. Like, yeah, I promise you will not regret it. Like, just go do it. If you haven't seen them run before, go and find a video of them running. But I'm so excited for that. So that's kind of all I wanted to say about that pack. But if you guys have any thoughts on it, or like actually watched the trailer, feel free to leave them in the comments. I'd love to hear your guys' opinions. I'm just going to be living through everyone while they play with this pack, and I don't get to because I'm too broke to afford a $55 expansion pack. So yeah, if any of you are in the same boat as me, well, I'm kind of thinking of doing a Wild West build. I've had this in my mind for a while now, and I actually started building it, like, I'm gonna say like a month ago or so. I started it, at least. I didn't get too far, but I already had this idea, don't know why I'm stuttering, already had this idea of doing a Wild West cowboy world. So I definitely think I'm gonna try and do that. Whether I keep it base game, I'm not sure. But I don't know, I kind of want to build something, and I feel like now is a good time with the new pack coming out. But here you can see, these are the floor tiles I'm talking about that I'm absolutely in love with. I really like them because they come with two variations for this one, at least. One where it's kind of broken and weathered down, and the other one where it looks a bit newer. Is that a word? I don't know. A bit more new. A bit more intact. I don't know. But I took the ones that like broken and weathered down, and I kind of dotted them around with the ones that were still pretty much intact. So like on the edge where it's a bit more exposed to the weather, I had those ones be where it's like cracked and you're missing a couple tiles, and then where it's closer to underneath the roof, I guess, if that's what you want to call it. Like, those ones are more intact because they're not as exposed to the elements, you know what I mean? So I really liked that little small detail, I guess, because I feel like sometimes when you have these small tiled patterns for your floor, like, it can get a little too repetitive. So I really like that this just broke it up and really gave it more of the overgrown, rundown, ruined vibes that I was going for. So I originally did have these vines. I can't remember if I keep them or not, but I think I was feeling like they didn't quite fit into the world. Like, using the stones from Jungle Adventure was fine, but then I feel like using the plants is a little bit harder because it doesn't blend in with the plants that are in Windenburg. But I still like what I did. I think I ended up using these vines instead that I'm placing now, which are I think they're from Island Living. Yeah, I really like these. My only complaint is that they're a little hard to place the way I want them to place. I used them in the Cluttered Cottage build that I did as well, but just because of, like, they're really flat on top because they're meant to go over like an awning or something, and so it doesn't really work when I want to use them on diagonal roofs or like these curved ones, but I think I still made it work anyways. But on the topic of my Cluttered Cottage build, oh my god, you guys, like, you got it to, I think it's at 7.2k views right now, and literally I'm so blown away. Like, I truly cannot thank you guys enough for all the support you've been giving me. I feel so loved, and I'm so excited to share more videos with you guys, and I'm just happy that you guys enjoy these builds as much as I do, because I love building them, and if you love watching them, well then, it's just meant to be. Yeah, so just thank you guys. You guys are so lovely. You're literally the best. And of course, if you have any build suggestions, again, I say this at the end of my videos, but you know, always leave them in the comments, because as much as I love building, I do suffer from burnout and from a lack of ideas sometimes. Sometimes I have too many, sometimes I have none at all. It's really just it's the extremes. I'm never in between. So you know, always leave ideas if you have any, or maybe sometimes I'll do like polls to see which build you guys would like to see next or something. I don't know, I'll feel it out, but I'm really glad you guys have decided to stick around. Yeah, so now I've pretty much done the majority of the upper level, I guess. I'm just trying to think if there was other things I added. I maybe add like another tree, but then I'm gonna go into the basement, I believe. But I really like what I did here. I picked this like grungier towel, and I just imagine like people just leave their stuff here. Like, I feel like the world they live in is not one where things get stolen quite often. So people will just like leave their stuff around. Like, these towels are always here. Personally, I would not lie on them, because that's, I don't, that feels a little nasty to me, but you know, your Sims can, you don't have to. But yeah, I just dotted around some like cans and some solo cups. I was imagining like they're like having a little beverage by the pool. What that beverage is, I don't know. That's for you to decide. That's not my business. Maybe it's, I mean, there is like a bar like right by this lot, like a little self-serve bar kind of thing, so it literally could be from there. Maybe they were drinking, maybe they're just having some juice, you don't know, I don't know. But yeah, so that was my idea for that. I just wanted it to feel like it was taken over by teens and not like this really beautiful like ancient architecture relic anymore, because the teens have taken it over. But I don't think I've gone into the inside of the build, and if I have, I'm sorry, because I wasn't paying attention and I talked over it. But I had like a statue in there and some candles, so I was thinking like I mentioned earlier, I imagined it was some sort of like temple or something that like the Sims would go and visit, like back in the ancient times of the Sims. Don't, like, this is the lore in my mind, okay? If you don't like it, it's okay. You can pick your own lore, you know? But I was just envisioning that that's what people had come here for, and I imagine some people still do, or like, I'd imagine the teens are at least respectful of that interior space. Like, I think they understand that like at some point it was like a sacred space for some people, and so now they've overtaken the bunker, but the actual structure on the surface they're pretty respectful of, which I like, and I'm proud of them for that, even though I literally decided that for them because they are pixels. But you know, we move on. Another thing I wanted to mention is I just hope you guys are doing well, because where I am right now, we are having a serious heat wave, and also where I work, I have no air conditioning, and where I work is a bakery, and in that bakery there is at least 8 ovens exuding an incredible amount of heat in a heat wave. So to any of you who are also experiencing a heat wave, I wish you luck. Please make sure to stay hydrated, take breaks, take rests. You know, hydration is so important. I literally just bought a 40-ounce water bottle so that I will not get dehydrated when I'm at work, because literally I am sweating so much when I'm there. Like, I actually will sweat out all 40 ounces within the first hour. So it's fine. But it's insulated and it has like a built-in straw, so I know it's gonna be like easy to drink and I can get my good water intake. Oh yeah, but now we're moving on to the inside, so I didn't talk over it. I struggled a lot with which statue I wanted to put on the interior. I didn't keep this one. I ended up sizing up this. I think originally it's just supposed to be like a little side table decor thing, and then I put it, or wait, no, maybe it's actually like a proper statue from the Jungle Adventure pack. See, yeah, I was gonna size up like this and then leave that in the middle, but then I was like, that's not really the vibe. And then I was gonna size up this one, again, not really the vibe. And I did end up finding one that worked, and hopefully you guys will like it. It was really hard for me to decide if I wanted to do a person or like a nondescript statue, I guess, like just like this flower or something, but I did end up going with the person. I haven't quite figured out the lore of this person or why she's the one in this temple, but you know, that's okay. Maybe I'll figure it out and leave it in the description, or I don't know, you guys could come up with your own lore. But yeah, you can see it here now. It is from Jungle Adventure. There is like a little description when you hover over the item, but I might come up with my own lore for it. You know how I just mentioned the heat wave? I'm literally on the top floor of my house, and I had to close my door because my AC is going and it's really loud and I didn't want to turn it off. But now I'm in my room and I've closed the door and I'm creating a sauna in here, and I'm sweating as I'm doing this voiceover. So I'm talking kind of fast, but I guess the footage won't speed up the faster I talk, which is a bit of a bummer. But I don't know, got about 10 minutes left of this voice recording, and I feel like this voice recording is all over the place. Honestly, might redo it. I haven't decided yet, but I just want to have something done because like I finally have like a free space so I can talk freely while I do my voiceover, because if there's people around, I'm too nervous to do it. So I'm trying to take advantage of that right now. But yeah, so I'm just adding some like more rocks and some pots and just like some old kind of things. These rocks here are actually seats, but they look like rubble or like parts of the, what would you call that? I'm just gonna call it a temple. It looks like parts of the temple that have been like chipped away at or just eroded over time, but your Sims can actually sit on them. At least some of them, not all of them, but some. Yeah, so that's it for the upper portion of the build. I don't think I'll go back to it. We have now moved on into the bunker sort of thing, or the basement. Yes, so this actually ended up being quite a large amount of space in the basement, and I'm really happy with it because I was able to fit so many activities. Obviously you'll see it as I go on, but I even ended up being able to include a bathroom. Now, why there's a bathroom down here, I don't really know. Like, I just, don't ask me the logistics of how this bunker came to be. I just needed like space for the teens to use and to party and stuff. I put another bar down here, even though there is a bar upstairs, but honestly I think it's okay. Like, maybe if it's cold, like they want to be on the inside instead of the outside, or yeah, I don't know. I was also just thinking that, you know how in Get Together there's the club feature? I was imagining that this lot could become a really great like club hangout area. So if you want to set this as like your club's meeting space, like I thought that could be a really cool idea, instead of it just being like a place that your Sims visit when there's like a party or something going on. I haven't really done too much gameplay in a while, so how it actually works is it's not the clearest to me right now, but hopefully you guys will still understand what I mean. But down here included all sorts of things. I've got like a foosball table, a don't wake the llama table, a little busking stand, so like if they wanted to have like mini concerts down here, they definitely could. And then I also include this bubble blower from City Living, and I even have like a closet down here, and then I even end up having a bed that looks like, I tried to make it look like a sleeping bag that they had just like thrown over this rubble. Just, I don't know why anyone would sleep down here, but you know, if your Sim gets like really exhausted and they pass out on this lot, like there's somewhere for them to come and just get a little bit more energy going. Now, I haven't actually play tested this build, but when I put it on the gallery, I will. And by the time this video is up, I will have play tested it. So I'm not sure if that bed feature works as of now, but if you don't see it when you download it, then it means it didn't work. Or, I don't know, I kind of just like the look of it, so even if it doesn't work, I might just leave it in there. I don't know if that's annoying to you guys, but if you don't like it, you can just delete it. It's very simple to delete. It's a little harder to bring back because I did use the tool mod to kind of adjust it, I think. But since this was such like a large space and just really long, I kind of struggled with how I wanted to lay everything out. I didn't want to have any rooms because I figured it's like a bunker. They don't quite, like, it's not a very well planned out area. It's just like a space if like someone was in crisis, you know what I mean? So I just feel like it wouldn't make much sense to like have sectioned off rooms. But I think I really like the layout in the end, and I think it works quite well. I really love how I did this stage area, I guess, because it looks like it's a bunch of rubble, but like it was perfectly level to have like your Sims be able to come up and perform and things like that. Like they just took advantage of like the natural stage that had been built. Like, maybe like a piece of the wall like came down or something, and then they're like, oh, like that's kind of, it's a good platform, like we could totally put some like speakers up there. I don't know, this is just what I was thinking of while I was building it. Yeah, I even include like a cross stitch basket down here. There's really just a whole bunch of things, but now you can see that I'm doing the little bed idea. So I didn't want it to look like an actual bed, I just wanted it to look like a sleeping bag. And so I took this cot that it's just from base game, but there's like this, oh, what would you call it, this frame, I guess, and I kind of wanted to hide that so that it just looked like a sleeping bag and not a bed, if that makes sense. I feel like I made that way more complicated than it needed to be, but hopefully you'll understand what I mean. If not, like you can go back and rewatch how I did it. But yeah, I'm just adding in a couple more seating areas, and if the bed doesn't work, like you can literally just use the couch and have your sim take a nap. I just wanted there to be somewhere where you had the option to like properly sleep, because naps don't do anything in the Sims, literally nothing. So I was just trying to think of all the things that might be helpful to have around here. Oh, and I also like what I did here. Like I tried to use only candles in this bunker, because why would they have electricity? Like it's a bunker in a basement right beside like a pond. You know, probably you're not gonna have electricity here. So I tried to use as many candles as I could, and I took these ones that are in these stands from City Living, I believe, and then I used a tool mod and I just lowered them into the ground so it looked more just like blocks of candles instead of like this stand that was poking out of the rocks. Hopefully I got that idea across. If not, I don't know, it at least lights up the place. In the bathroom, I should mention, it's just a toilet. There is no sink. Yeah, because what I'm imagining, it's not like a flushable toilet. I'm thinking it's more of like a porta potty situation. So like if they don't have electricity, why would they have plumbing in the bunker, you know? So if they need to wash their hands, they can use the water up there, hopefully using biodegradable soap, or maybe they have hand sanitizer. At least I hope they have hand sanitizer, because otherwise that's yucky and they're gross, and thank God it's just a bunch of pixels. Anyways, I've been rambling about that for a while, but I also included like a dance floor down here, so if your Sims want to busk, they can dance too. I also have a radio and some darts. And yeah, I'm just going in and I'm going to try and find like a couple more things to use as rubble and stuff. And I was trying to maybe take advantage of these individual pieces, like these, I don't even know what you call them, but these stones that you can like frame things with. Or there's also like some pillars that I tried adding. I think I keep them if I remember correctly, not entirely sure. I guess we'll have to wait till we get there, but yeah, I really can't remember. But I also tried to add like some graffiti on the walls, just like really making this place look like it's been around for a while, and you know, it has like character. It's not like a new thing that they've discovered, like it's been built by generations of teens in Windenburg, and I really like that idea. There's a lot of history here, and I just think it would be such a fun lot to come and play in. So I'm definitely going to use it in my own personal gameplay, and hopefully it will be helpful for you guys too. Now I want to include it in my save file, but also it's not pack limited by any means. I tried to be slightly conscious of the packs I was using, but then at some point I was just like, you know what, I just want to put in here what I want to put in here, because like I just want there to be more activities for your Sims to do, and we don't have that many activities in base game alone. So I don't know, I kind of went a little crazy with the pack, so I really do apologize if you don't have all of these packs or any packs. I'll try my best to do a version that's just get together and base game, or maybe get together, base game, and jungle adventure, because I do use a lot from jungle adventure. Everything else I feel like I could substitute, but yeah. Also, like, in case you guys weren't aware, like when you download lots, if you don't have the packs, like the Sims game will substitute items for the ones that you're missing. Not all of the items get substituted, but say there's like a chair from Cats and Dogs and you don't have Cats and Dogs, like the game will put in a base game chair in its place. This happens most of the time. I don't know like the if it happens every time, but at least for me, I know it's happened. So you can always try downloading any of my builds that do have more than just base game and seeing like how it turns out, because it should still be like functionable. It just might not be as cohesive as how I designed it, because I think when they replace the items, they're not like, oh, I need to put a red swatch because it's a red themed build. Hopefully that makes sense, but there is like workarounds if you don't have packs and things like that. But we are coming to a close on this build. I'm just gonna go around and add some like final knickknacks, things like that, just some more clutter items, making it feel even more lived in. And yeah, I really hope you guys have enjoyed this build. I know I had a lot of fun creating it. You can find it on the gallery. All of the info on like the price, packs I've used, the lot it goes on, etc. will be in the description, along with the name that I'm gonna title it when it goes up to the gallery. It'll probably just be the Bluffs. So that's how you could find it on my page and stuff. But yeah, I'll have my origin ID down below. It's also at the end of the video on my end card. So yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this. If you're interested in seeing me build anything else, I do have a couple other videos on my channel. And of course, if there's anything you want to see me build, make sure you leave your comments or suggestions down below. And hopefully I will see you all in my next video. Bye guys!